Graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on barrel. And out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
Greetings, everybody. Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We go on for everything baseball. We've been covering the MLB playoffs. We also do the Philadelphia 76ers. And for the Philadelphia area, we also do the Sixers and the Eagles as well. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell icon too. We got Shane Bieber pitching tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays, and for the Mariners, it'll be George Kirby. What's really cool was that Randy Johnson actually ended up throwing out the first pitch in tonight's game, which is really awesome. So, but yes, George Kirby is on the mound tonight for the Seattle Mariners, and Shane Bieber is on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. The game will begin at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time. The Mariners ended up scoring 10 runs in their very last game against the Jays. It was a 3-0 lead. The Blue Jays did come back to tie it up, and then the Mariners were just off to the races from there. They got a really good swing from or a couple of really good swings, including 2 3-run home runs. One was by Julio Rodriguez. They also got another one from Jorge Polanco. And then a 2-run shot, too, by the way, by Josh Naylor as well. So they've been hitting the long ball. Their offense seems to be cooking. And we'll see how the Blue Jays do respond today. But they face themselves in a 2-0 deficit, and they're going to have to go out there and give it everything that they got if they want to make this a series. And tonight's pretty much a must-win game for them if they want to stay in it, or if they want to get back in it, I should say. As far as the lineups do go for tonight, we will get to that in just a little bit. I do want to say that Shane Bieber, who is on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, the last time that he actually pitched, he ended up going just 2 2/3 against the New York Yankees, and he did allow 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. If you're the Blue Jays, you're going to need Shane to go 6 innings tonight. He's going to have to pitch really, really well, and you're going to need to keep him in the game for as long as possible, so that way that you can save that bullpen and just give the team a chance that way. Before that outing, the last time that he actually pitched in the regular season, he did go 5 innings. He gave up 2 earned runs. Actually, both shots were solo shots, and he also did strike out 3 batters. So you're not going to want him to give up the long ball, and you're going to need him to go out there and dominate that strike zone. As far as George Kirby goes, this is a guy who is pitching in his 3rd outing of the postseason. He's gone 5 innings in each of his first 2 postseason outings. The last time he did pitch, he gave up 1 earned run. He struck out 6 batters and also only allowed 3 hits, too. This Mariners rotation has really shown that they have a lot of strengths, for sure. And I think that if you're George Kirby tonight, you just pick up right where everybody left off, and you go out there and you have yourselves a good game, and you do your best to keep your offense involved. So, all right, we're going to get into the starting lineups right now. Make sure you guys let me know what your final score predictions are in the chat down below. I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about that, and also who your standout players for tonight are as well. As far as the lineup goes, for the Toronto Blue Jays, they will have George Springer DHing. He'll be batting in the leadoff spot. Then you got Nathan Lukes out in left field. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over at first base. He's batting third. Fourth is going to be Anthony Santander. He's out in right field. Alejandro Kirk, he is the catcher. He'll be batting fifth in tonight's game. And he'll be batting, and then after that, you got Dalton Varsho, who's playing out in center field. He's hitting sixth. Batting seventh is going to be Addison Barger. He's over at third base. The second baseman, Ernie Clement, is hitting eighth, and Andres Jimenez is the caboose. He is the shortstop, and he will be batting in the 9 spot. So again, it's Springer, Lukes, Guerrero Jr., then you got Santander, Kirk, Varsho, Barger, Clement, and Jimenez. And that is the starting lineup tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays. No Davis Schneider in the lineup tonight. Just wanted to throw that out there. As far as things go for the Seattle Mariners, it'll be Randy Arozarena, your left fielder, batting in the leadoff spot. Cal Raleigh is catching. Julio Rodriguez is out in center field, batting third. J.P. Crawford, that's Jorge Polanco, he is batting fourth and is hitting in the cleanup spot, playing over at second base. Josh Naylor is over at first base. He's batting fifth. Then you got Eugenio Suarez batting sixth. He is at third. Dominic Canzone is the DH. He'll be batting seventh. Eighth will be Victor Robles out in right field. And last but certainly not least is J.P. Crawford, who is over at shortstop. So here is George Kirby on the mound. Before we get to more of his stats, just to recap again, for the Mariners, it's Arozarena, Raleigh, that is, Rodriguez, Polanco, Naylor, Suarez, Canzone, Robles, and Crawford. And again, George Kirby is on the mound. 23 starts during the regular season, 126 innings of work. He struck out 137 batters and gave up 29 walks as well. His ERA was at a 4.21. And George Springer will lead things off for the Toronto Blue Jays as he goes out there. Ben May is the home plate umpire. You got Marvin Hudson over at first. DJ Rayburn at second. Quinn Wolcott at third. Ryan Addington is the left field umpire, and Doug Eddings is the right field ump. So, all right. Wanted to make sure we said hi to Rising Rhino. What's going on, my friend? Rising Rhino. Daniel is here. Cool J is here as well. Let's go. All right. We're ready to rock and roll as George Springer steps on into the box. He gives Cal a little pat on the back. And we are ready to rock and roll. Let's go. Mason is also here. Cool J is here. Mason says, go Mariners. What's going on, my friend? Thanks so much for stopping on by. Anybody notice anything different about me? Anything? All right. George Springer is in the box. George versus George. That's George Kirby who's on the mound, facing George Springer, who's in the box. And the first pitch to George Springer is in there for a strike from George Kirby. Keeping up? You following along? The ball is one strike in the pitch. There's a chopper. It's hit over to the third baseman, Suarez. He gets to it, throws it over to first, and there's one away in the top of the first inning. Up next now is Nathan Lukes, shaving a haircut. There you go. Yes, sir. Wasn't just me. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Don't be shy to speak up. Blue Jays finished out the season 94-68, which was tied with the New York Yankees for best in the AL East. Blue Jays, of course, though, had the tiebreaker. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. PJ's also here. What's up, PJ? Rising Rhino, drop your link down below, my friend. No balls, one strike. And here's the 0-1. That's a foul ball. That one will go back over towards the screen. Guys, Rhino does all things football. You should definitely go check him out. He does an awesome job with all his football content. And we are a huge, and I mean a huge supporter of Rising Rhino. The ball's 2 strikes, 1 gone, top of the first. Luke's in the box batting .412 during the postseason, and he takes the next pitch that he will take inside for ball 1. As far as the defense goes tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays, or for the Seattle Mariners, that is, excuse me, you got Cal catching, as the 1-2 is swung on and missed, and there's out number 2. So Cal Raleigh is catching. You got George Kirby on the mound. And then over at first base, it's Josh Naylor. The second baseman is Jorge Polanco. At third base, you got Eugenio Suarez. And the shortstop is J.P. Crawford. We'll get to the outfielders in just a couple of seconds, as Vladdy is up. And he looks at a sinker that misses down in the way for a ball. Vladdy, during the regular season, hit .292. During the postseason, though, he's batting .375. Had a very good series against the New York Yankees. He's been struggling, though, against the Mariners. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike as the next pitch was fouled away. Finishing out the Mariners outfield, you got Randy Arozarena in left. The center fielder is Julio Rodriguez. And out in right field, it's Victor Robles. 1-1 pitch. High bouncer. Hit over towards the third baseman, Suarez. He jumps. He throws it over to first. And that is going to go on into the dugout. And so Vladdy will make his way on over to second base, and he will advance. Bad throw made there by Eugenio Suarez. He tried to jump up as the ball was hit on a bounce, and then he threw it on over to first. Naylor tried to extend his body and just could not get there. The throw was a little bit towards his right side. So that's going to go down as an E5 from Eugenio Suarez. And again, Vladdy advances over to second. They actually do call it a hit and an E5, which I can't believe, but I also can. So it's a single and an E5. Here's Anthony Santander, the former Oriole, and he looks at strike 1. We'll see if the Blue Jays can capitalize on this. That's, by the way, Vladdy's first hit of the series. What a way for that to come. 0-1 pitch, and that's up high for a ball. So Springer grounded out to third. Luke struck out. Vladdy singled, and then advanced over to second on a bad throw by Suarez. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball right down the middle at 97 miles per hour. Kirby, so far with a total of 12 pitches. On deck is Alejandro Kirk. Who else do we have up here? PJ is here. Cool J is also here. Shout out to you guys. Whoever just subbed, thank you so much. We'll get to chat in just a couple of seconds. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Santander, and that's up high for ball 2. It's also a little bit inside. PJ is here. Whoop, whoop. Glad to see that you're crushing it. Dude, I'm proud of you, man. I really am. I'm very proud of you, and I want you to keep going. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. Got him. 2 strikeouts in this inning, and we're going to go to the bottom of the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, and we go to the bottom of the first out at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. All right. Oh, boy. Chat, let me know what your final score predictions are down below. Who do you have winning this ball game? I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that. And also, who are your MVPs for tonight? MVP! Who are they? Who are the MVPs? Besides you guys. You guys actually really are the MVPs, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys have been on here supporting the channel, and I love you all to death. I do. All right, as far as the lineup goes for the Seattle Mariners, it'll be Randy Arozarena batting in the leadoff spot. Then you got Cal Raleigh catching behind the plate. You got Julio Rodriguez out in center field. He's batting third. Jorge Polanco is at second base. He's batting fourth. And fifth is Josh Naylor. He's the first baseman. Eugenio Suarez playing over at the hot corner. He's batting sixth. Dominic Canzone batting seventh. He is the DH. The right fielder, Victor Robles, he'll be hitting eighth. And last but certainly not least, it'll be J.P. Crawford at the shortstop position. He is batting in the 9 spots. So just to recap, it's Arozarena batting first. Second, it's Raleigh. Third, it's Rodriguez. Fourth is Polanco. Fifth, Naylor. Sixth, Suarez. Seventh, Canzone. Eighth, Robles. And ninth, Crawford. And the guy that they're going to be facing, and I want you to tell me how many strikeouts he's going to have today in the chat. Give me a number of strikeouts. The guy that's pitching is Shane Bieber. How many strikeouts do you guys think that he's going to get this evening? I'll tell you one thing. The last time that he did pitch, he went 2 2/3 and allowed 3 runs, 2 earned runs, and he struck out 2 batters. So, how many do we think he's going to get today? I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to say that Shane Bieber strikes out 3 batters today. But yeah, let me know down below. Jays are folding like fresh laundry. All right. So Bieber with 7 starts, a 4-2 record, a 3.57 earned run average, 40 1/3 of an inning. That's all during the regular season. 37 strikeouts and only 7 walks allowed. He has a 4-seamer, a slider, a knuckle curve, a changeup, and a cutter that he likes to go to as his 5 pitches in his toolbox. Bieber gets set at the letters, the Blue Jays letters, that is, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Randy is just batting a .161 in the postseason so far. Has not homered yet, but he does have 1 RBI. There's the windup, and here's the pitch. It's outside for ball 2. Bieber kicks and deals. Throws a cutter that's in there for strike 1. Hardcore says 5. Jeff says 1. Blitz Sport is here. What's going on? 2-1 pitch. That is up high for ball 3. I stopped betting on pitchers per you. Well, how many strikeouts do you think he's going to get? It's just a simple question. 3-1 pitch. That's inside for ball 4. So Arozarena does get on with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first. All right. Look, Shane Bieber really, this is a guy who really has been through a lot. Just over the last season or so, he recovered from Tommy John surgery in April of 2024. This season got traded from Cleveland to Toronto back in July. Here comes Cal to the plate, and he looks at strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the first, nobody out. A runner on over at first. And Raleigh, will foul off the next pitch. So it's no balls, 2 strikes. Hit that thumbs up button, folks. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make sure that you guys turn on the notification bell icons too. Raleigh batting on the left side. He's a switch hitter. Had himself a phenomenal regular season. 60 homers and 125 RBI for a catcher. 0-2 pitch. That knuckle curve is down and in for a ball. Against the Jays this year, he's 5 for 19 with a double, 4 runs scored, a homer and 4 RBI, also 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, Arozarena leads off over at first. Bieber gets set at the belt, And the 1-2 is down and in for ball 2. Shane does have 9 pitches. We're in the bottom of the first. Springer grounded out to third for the Jays. Then Luke struck out. Vladdy got on with a single, advanced to second on an E5. And then, after that, it was Santander who struck out to end the first. The top of the first, that is. Rosarina leads off over at first with a walk. Here's the 2-2 on the way to Cal Raleigh. That ball is flied out over towards left field. It's hooking foul, but the catch is made by the left fielder in foul territory for out number 1. Randy Rosarina does make the catch, tosses it back on over to the first baseman, and the throw is absolutely off the line. Folks, we do a radio type of a play-by-play style. So if you guys do enjoy this, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We've been going on every single day, just covering baseball. Toss back over to first base, and that's not in time. Rosarina got back in there safely. Just got his right hand in there. One out, bottom of the first. Rodriguez at the plate had a 3-run homer in the first inning of Game 2. The pitch, the runner goes, the pitch is in there for a strike, the throw, the second is late, and Rosarina dives in there safely head first. Nice heads-up base run in there by Randy. The throw was honestly a little bit high. And Rosarina able to steal second. He's now in scoring position. He had 31 steals during the regular season. The pitch. Now it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Three stolen bases so far for him during the postseason. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball hit out to left field. This crowd explodes. It's gone. Welcome back home, Julio Rodriguez. That was a heck of a swing. All right, here's the first pitch to Polanco. There's a fly ball hit out over towards the right center field gap. That's going to drop on the track, bounce over the wall, and there's a ground rule double by Jorge Polanco. Back-to-back extra base hits on back-to-back pitches for the Mariners. So already a 2-0 start in the bottom of the first, and the Mariners are able to provide the first punch. Man. Are there any Blue Jays fans in here, and are you nervous? Bottom of the first, 1 out, and the pitch to Naylor. That's a foul ball. I really liked that call there. I actually thought that was a good one. Not to toot my own horn, but I will cut that. I think that was actually a pretty good call. Naylor hit .295 during the regular season. It was a big trade deadline addition from the Arizona Diamondbacks. 1 ball, 1 strike, by the way, to Josh Naylor. So Bieber does allow a home run. And again, over at second base is Polanco. The 1-1 pitch to Naylor. That ball is fouled off the knee. Michael is here. What's going on? 57 in here and only 7 likes. Come on, baby. Come on, man. Get out of the shadows. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom of the first. Don't forget tomorrow night, 7:08 p.m. Dodgers versus Brewers, 6:08. Not 7:08. 6:08. Yep. 1-2 is the count to Naylor. Bieber, by the way, has allowed 7 homers in his last 6 starts. Next pitch, here it comes, and that's down for ball 2. So for all those people that want to say that Aaron Nola gives up a lot of home runs, well, Freddie Peralta is another one who does give up the home run ball. And this is another guy who does so as well. Next pitch, that ball is swung on and missed. And Naylor is down on strikes. There is the first strikeout of the ball game for Bieber. Naylor lost the bat. I was thinking whether or not he fouled it. He did not. J-Rod is now homered in the first inning in each of his last 2 games. Here comes Suarez to the plate, and he takes a cutter upstairs for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That ball is fouled back towards the screen. The Blue Jays defense, you got Vladdy over at first. You got Clement at second. Andres Jimenez at short. And Addison Barger over at third. The catcher is Alejandro Kirk. And on the mound, of course, is Shane Bieber. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a fastball right down the hatch. Nathan Lukes is out in left field. In center field, it's Dalton Varsho. And out in right is Anthony Santander. Polanco's at second. 2-0 Seattle on a 2-run shot by Rodriguez. And the 1-2 is popped up and hit out over towards the shortstop, Jimenez. He has plenty of room. He'll make the catch. And the side is retired. We're going to go to the top of the second. The damage is done. Rodriguez gets this crowd pumped up thanks to a 2-run blast. We're going to go to the second inning, 2-0 Seattle. We'll take a quick step off, and we will be right back. Listen to this stat, okay? Ready for this? The Mariners, this is according to MLB Network and was also reposted by John Morosi. The Mariners have played 8 games this postseason. They have scored first in 7 of them, including every home game that they have played in. which is crazy. TJ's here. What's up, What's up, TJ? How are you, my friend? 2-0 Mariners thanks to a 2-run bomb by Julio Rodriguez. Folks, we do like an old school radio play-by-play style on here. I cannot show the game, unfortunately, but I do love to interact with you guys, and we also do like to provide the real-time play-by-play. We went to school for it, and we hope that you guys do enjoy. Yes, we're going to the top of the second. Alejandro Kirk is going to be leading things off for the Toronto Blue Jays. It'll be Kirk, Varsho, and Barger that are due up in the Blue Jays batting order as they face a 2-0 deficit in both the series and in this game. So there we go. There's Rodriguez back out there in center field with his bright yellow cleats as the crowd absolutely gave him a standing ovation. They were pumped to see him. First pitch to Kirk, and that's outside for ball one. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher, he's in the box. Right-handed hitter. And the 1-0 pitch. That misses outside for ball two. From George Kirby. Kirk is 26 years old. He stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall, 245 pounds. There's a short bat. 2-0 delivery. And a 97-mile-per-hour fastball catches the inner third of the zone for strike one. George Kirby, on the other hand, well, he's pretty tall. The wind-up and the pitch. Line drive, leaping catch by the first baseman Naylor. He was playing away from the bag, and yet was able to catch lightning in a bottle for out number one. There we go. So there is the first out of the inning. Kirby is 6 feet 4 inches tall, 215 pounds. He's a right-handed pitcher. Turned 27 in February. One away, top of the second. And so Kirk is retired, and the next man up is Dalton Varsho. And Varsho, the center fielder, stares at strike one. Don't forget to like, folks. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. The 0-1 delivery, and the sinker is fouled away. Batters are hitting 188 against George Kirby's sliders during the postseason. It's been his out pitch. And just the way that he delivers it, it's just so deceptive and confuses the batters and makes their timing off. 0-2 pitch. That ball was skied over towards the first base side in foul territory. Naylor does wait for it and makes the grab for the second out of the inning. And so Varsho does foul out to first base. We saw some really great pitching last night from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. A lot of ground outs for him, and tell you, went a complete game and looked absolutely masterful out there for the LA Dodgers. The Seattle Mariners pitching staff, as they haven't been performing like the Dodgers starters have, but they've been very good too. Here's Addison Barger, and the first pitch that is thrown to him is upstairs. George Kirby takes a breath and fires. And the pitch is high for ball two. Blue Jays just have one hit so far. It was a single by Vladdy in the first inning. An infield single. 2-0 pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over towards medium depth center field. Rodriguez takes about 5 steps inward towards the ball. And he will catch it and secure it for out number 3. So George Kirby tosses a 1-2-3 inning, and it's time to go to the bottom of the second out at T-Mobile Park. 2-0 Seattle. Okay. What's up, chat? What's up, Gold, the Pokemon Master? How are you? Mouseo is here. What's going on? Man, could these series possibly be both be sweeps? Well, both of them are up 2-0, so yeah, absolutely it could be. Yeah. Absolutely. Kirby in his last game, 5 innings, 1 earned run, no homers, 6 strikeouts, ended up throwing just 66 pitches. Now, ultimately, the Mariners did win. That was game 5. Ended up actually going toe-to-toe with Tarek Skubal. But he did have 13 strikeouts. He only gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. Just didn't get a lot of offensive production. First inning postseason home runs in Mariners history. Julio Rodriguez has 2. All other combined, 3. Can any of you guess any one of those 3 players that have 3 homers for the Mariners in their postseason history? Anybody want to play this little game? So, who do you think? There's 3 players in Seattle history that have 3 home runs in the first inning during the postseason. Cliff's John is here. What's up, Cliff? What's up, John? Jay's maybe after tonight, Griffey. Maybe golfing after tonight, Griffey. Dominic Canzone is going to come on up to the plate. Again, it's 2-0 Seattle. We're in the bottom of the second. There's nobody out. Dominic Canzone is up and he stares at strike 1. Dr. DeLay sent me your way. He's not calling it tonight. Well, Wendy, I appreciate you for stopping on by. I really, really do. And Dr. DeLay, guys, Dr. DeLay is awesome at what he does, and we love Dr. DeLay. He's so great. No balls, 1 strike in the pitch, and that's taken at the knees for strike 2. I Google cheated. Edgar Martinez is 1. That's 1. Who else in Mariners franchise postseason history has 3 first-inning home runs? 0-2 coming on up. And there is a swing and a miss. And so there is the first strikeout of the second inning. So 1 gone. And Dominic Canzone is retired. And now it's Victor Robles who will step on up to the plate. Pitch number 1 from Bieber, and that slider catches the inside corner at the knees for strike 1. A-Rod was not one of those players who had 3 first-inning postseason home runs. The ball is 1 strike. Next pitch was in there for strike 2 to Victor Robles. There's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. And so there's back-to-back strikeouts. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Victor Robles. So the other 2 guys, just to answer the question. All right, first inning postseason home runs in Mariners history. Rodriguez has 2. And then the other 2 who have 3. So you got Edgar Martinez is 1. Mike Cameron, if you remember him. It's Daz Cameron's father. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's a 1-1 count. He had 3. And how could you forget about Cal Raleigh? 3 home runs in the first inning in the postseason. How could you forget about Cal? 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, bottom of the second. It's okay. We'll do another trivia question in a little bit. Just want to make sure that y'all are paying attention. The 2-1 pitch that misses outside and high for ball 3. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes, and that cutter catches the outside corner for strike 2. Bieber comes set and fires the next pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bieber strikes out the side and gets himself a 1-2-3 inning as we go to the 3rd inning. 2-0 Mariners. Alcio says, did you know about the ALCS of the Rangers losing? About the ALCS, the Rangers losing all 3 of their home games, but won all 4 of their away games to advance to the World Series. And did you also know that in the World Series, right, in 2019, the Washington Nationals won the first 2 games on the road. The Astros won the next 3 games on the road in Washington. And the Nationals were able to win the World Series and take the next 2 games in Houston. Isn't that crazy? I think that that's wild, too. The Bieber is not playing. Nope. We're going to the top of the 3rd. 2-0 Mariners. We did hear today that Quinyon Mitchell did practice for the Birds. That is really good news. That makes me very happy to hear. We also heard that Paul George practiced today with Joel Embiid for the Sixers, so that's nice as well. All right, so we're going to go to the 3rd inning. It is 2-0 Mariners, thanks to a 2-run shot by Julio Rodriguez. That's crazy against the Astros. Yep. That is a horror of the Astros franchise. Well, what's funny is that Mike Fiers, if you guys remember, after that season was done, the whole Mike Fiers story broke from The Athletic about the Astros and the cheating scandal. I believe. Actually, wait, I could be wrong about that. When did that article come out? Don't misquote me there. Ernie Clement comes up, and he's going to rip this one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. That's going all the way towards the corner. Arozarena finds the baseball, and Clement will cruise on over to second base with a stand-up double. So the Blue Jays do have a runner on over at second base to start off the 3rd. Clement got a fastball right down the middle and was able to take advantage. Charge! Mike Fiers, Astros story. That was the 2000. Oh, wait, yes, that was 2017. Okay, that was in November against the Dodgers. Okay, now I remember. No balls, 1 strike, top of the 3rd. So that part I was wrong about. The 0-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball by Jimenez. That ball's hit out to right field. It's carrying. It's going back towards the track, and we are tied up 2-2. See you later, sayonara, and goodbye, baseball. That's how they tie it back. So Jimenez does go yard off of George Kirby, and of course, George doesn't really give up a lot of home runs, but again, that fastball was elevated. It was left down the middle of the plate. And now George Springer comes back up, and he takes ball one inside. Kirby only allowed 3 homers in the month of September. Did give up 1 homer against the Tigers in the first game of, or in his first outing, that is. 1 ball, 1 strike to George Springer. We're tied 2-2. 1-1 pitch. That ball is fouled towards the right side. You felt it, JJ. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the 1-2 pitch, and there is a fly ball hit out over towards shallow right field, over towards the line, and Robles leaps up and makes the catch. Oh, what a play by Victor. Went on in over towards foul territory. Remember, he injured himself earlier in the year on a play just like that, but ends up making a nice catch there, and we have 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. A foul out by George Springer. Good concentration by Robles to go towards that right field corner to catch that, and there's 1 gone. Here's Nathan Lukes, and he stares at ball 1. Kirby kicks, deals, and Lukes fouls it away. For those of you tuning on in for the very first time, thank you all so much for being on here. We hope that you guys enjoy. 1-1 pitch, and there's a rocket hit out to right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. And a 1-out single by Nathan Lukes. And George Kirby is getting beaten up in this inning so far. And up next now is Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Vladdy did single back in the first. It was an infield single. That was his first hit of the ALCS. Top of the 3rd, 1 away, and Cal is going to go have a conversation with George. Wow. Alcio says, I'm a little worried that the Phillies would have to make a new team in the next 13 years and won't win a World Series. Well, you know, a lot of unexpected things happen too, guys. Let me ask you this. Did you expect the Phillies to go to the World Series in 2022? I don't think anybody did. Not that year. I know that the expectations got higher. But my point is that you just don't know. You don't. Who expected the Mariners and the Blue Jays to go to the ALCS this year, if I'm being really honest? 1 ball, no strikes. And there's a slider that's taken right down the middle for strike 1. I'm sure that a lot of you during the regular season would have said that it would have been, or before the season started, it'd be somebody like Yankees and Astros or something along those lines. The pitch to Vladdy. Smokes this one out to left field. That's going to hit off the top of the wall. Lukes will stop at third. The throw is cut off by J.P. Crawford at short. And Vladdy doubles over to left field. That is the fourth hit, of this inning so far by the Blue Jays. And so another pitch left out over the middle of the plate. George Kirby is just not hitting his spots, and the Blue Jays are taking advantage, and hitting has become contagious for Toronto. Up next is Anthony Santander. Dark blue batting gloves for him on the fingertips and white on the fingers. The pitch, swing and a miss. Is no balls, one strike. No balls, one strike to Santander. It was a 2-0 game, and now it's 2-2 in the top of the third. Seattle had the advantage, and then Toronto said, we're coming back and we're going to tie it up. And now they're knocking on the door. They're going to try to take the lead. Luke's at third. Vladdy at second. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Top of the third. Kirby kicks, steals. And the pitch is outside for ball 2. Let's go. Rising Rhino. Rising Rhino. Thanks so much for being on here, man. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kirby kicks and delivers again. And that ball is fouled away. Shout out to you. Come on, Seattle. Yeah, I thought the Tigers would make it to the World Series early on during the year. So my point is that anything just can happen, and sometimes you just don't even expect. You just don't even expect which teams are going to do well and which ones aren't. The 2 to the Santander, he lays off the slider, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Folks, go subscribe to the Rising Rhino himself. He covers all things football. He does a heck of a job. Three balls, 2 strikes to Anthony Santander, who is 0 for 1. He struck out his first at-bats. Kirby looks back at second. Now back to the plate. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball hit over towards the first baseman, Naylor. He'll get the easy out over at first base, and Lukes will stay put over at first. Now, Naylor did check the runner to see if he was going to go, and Luke's wise decision said, nope, I'm not going to. Going nowhere. Now it's Alejandro Kirk hitting a $192 in the postseason so far. 2 long balls and 4 RBI as well. Here's the pitch, and that misses just barely outside for ball 1. Alrighty, folks. Where are we? There we go. We got 69 people watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button as well. We got just 15 likes. Come on, baby. Let's go. 1 ball, no strikes. And Kirby comes set and fires, and the pitch is outside for ball 2. This is Rising Rhino's link. Please make sure that you go subscribe and join the Rhino Nation. Wanted to find it myself. Got it. And that's Rising Rhino's link. Giving you a lot of homework so far. Hit that thumbs up button and go subscribe to Play by Play with JJ and Rising Rhino. And I'll add another homework assignment for you in just a little bit. The 2-0, and that's down for ball 3. We also had somebody come on and mention Dr. Delay. We'll get you his link too, or one of my mods will. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch to Kirk. Down the hatch for strike 1. That was right down the middle, and Kirk just watched it go by. Dalton Varsho does wait in the on-deck circle. Kirby with 47 pitches so far. gets set at the letters again, gets the signs from Cal, and the next pitch is down and away for ball 4. And that'll load the bases. Dalton Varsho is now going to come on up to the plate. So now Vladdy's at third. Luke's is at third. Vladdy's at second. And Kirk is over at first base. And Varsho comes on up with the bases loaded. Let's go! Get here, you chat! All right. So we got a timeout taken. George Kirby wanted to have a conversation. He had 14 pitches in the first, 10 in the second, and so far 24 here in the third. A total of 48 pitches. A majority of the fans are standing in Seattle now. They can feel it. Just kidding. A lot of them are sitting. The pitch, that ball's down and in, almost got by Cal. It sort of bounced on up, and he caught it with his bare hand. Oh, boy. They're all sitting down. One ball, no strikes. Here in the top of the third, there's 2 away. Do not hesitate. Follow Dr. Delay. There he is. Make sure that you go follow him. The 1-0 pitch. And there's a swing and a miss. The ball's going to get by Cal Raleigh. And the Blue Jays will take the lead. Luke scores. Vladdy goes over to third. And obviously Kirk goes over to second. Musical chairs for Toronto. There was no way that Cal was going to be able to stop that one once it bounced off of his mitt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dalton Varsho. Blue Jays come back. The pitch. There's a fly ball hit out to right field over the head of Robles. 2 runs will score. The Blue Jays have put up 5 runs in this third inning. Another 2-run double, that time by Varsho. And the bell keeps ringing. That is the 3rd double allowed in this inning by George Kirby. And the 9th man, Addison Barger, will come on up to the plate. Barger comes up, and on the first pitch, he grounds this one towards the right side. Polanco gobbles it up, throws it over to first, and we're going to go to the bottom of the third. We'll see if Seattle has a response. It's 5-2 Toronto. They put up 5 runs in this third inning. They tied it back on a 2-run shot by Andres Jimenez, and then they took the lead on a wild pitch. And also, they added on to their lead on a 2-run double by Dalton Varsho. And they lead it 5-2. Okay. Nice. That's a bunch of 2-out runs, by the way. It is. That's how many runs did they get? Oh, they got 1. Or they got a 2-run homer with 1 out, so they got 3 with 2. But yes. Yes. Daniel is here. What's up, Daniel? How are you, my friend? How is everybody doing? Guys, hit the thumbs up button. I have to keep reminding everybody to do so. And hit that subscribe button as well, please. You guys are the absolute best. Shout out to each and every one of you. Oh, man. All right, so bottom of the third coming on up. And Randy Rosarina will lead things off. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a very, very quick step off. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're in the bottom of the third. Randy Arozarena comes on up and takes strike one. Blue Jays had one hit combined after the second inning in this series, says Just Baseball. Bieber dominates the zone again. It's no balls, 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Here's the 0-2 pitch. 4 strikeouts in a row by Shane Bieber. There we go. So he has struck out 5 of the last 6 batters that he has faced. And Cal is going to come back on up to the plate for the second time today. Seems like he has really found his groove, Shane, that is. Raleigh in the box. Pitch number 1. It's changeup, swing and a miss. Bieber looking like he's turning back the clock here. Raleigh's 0-1 pitch. That ball is popped up right behind the mound. And the second baseman is there. He'll make the catch. Ernie Clement says, no problem, I got it. And there's 2 away. That slider has looked really good. It's definitely getting a lot of bite to it. And it's not flats. Seems like that as he's been pitching more, he's getting that rotation and getting that dip that he used to have a couple of years ago. Here's another slider that catches the outside edge for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. The 0-1, it's off the plate for a ball. Back to George Kirby for a very quick second. Just wanted to throw this out there. Left a lot of fastballs up throughout the third. The Jays took excellent swings. And now, of course, they have momentum, but I forgot. I saw that there was a certain number of fastballs that he left out over the middle of the plate, and I couldn't find that. If I do find it, I'll let you know. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez, who hit a 2-run shot his last time up. 1-2 pitch. That misses outside for ball 2. Jason says the money is with the Jays tonight, chat. The 2-2 pitch to J-Rod. He taps this one towards the third base side. Going to be a tough play for Barger, and he'll just have to eat it up as he barehands it. And there was no chance that Julio Rodriguez was going to get thrown out there. An infield single. That's the second infield single tonight in this game. The first one by Julio Rodriguez. And he is on over at first base. Up next is Jorge Polanco. Since August 17th, this guy is batting .322. He has homered 11 times and has a 1.019 OPS. That's impressive. Here's the pitch, and that changeup is in there for strike 1. The first 2 games, he made such a big difference. He was, you could see why they moved him up. 0-1 to Polanco. He flies this one out over towards center field. He got under it. It was also hit off the end of the bat, and Varsho maneuvers over towards his left. And awaits for the baseball and makes the easy catch for out number 3. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. And we played 3 frames and go to the 4th. 5-2 Toronto. Okay. So a fly out over to center. And we're now going to the 4th inning. And to lead things off, we got Ernie Clement for the Blue Jays. It's 8-9-1 due up in the batting order. Hey, chat. What is up, everybody? We got a quiet one tonight. Why is everybody quiet? Everybody busy? Everybody have a long day at work? What's going on? What's going on, chat? Yes. Chad, if you think... So if the Blue Jays win this game, are they back in this series? Like, are they... Do you think that changes momentum? Is really my question. Does that change momentum in this series if Toronto wins tonight? And I say yes. I think that if they can find a way, if they win tonight's game, they can easily pull out another one here in Seattle. I don't know if it'll be game 4, but I think that they could definitely pull out a game 5. And then you go back to Toronto and you put pressure on Seattle to win it there. But I do think that they can absolutely get back into this and make it a series. I'm listening in from work, got a stack of paperwork to get through. Oh, no worries, man. You're good. You're fired. No, I'm kidding. I feel another dinger for this dome, or for the dome this inning, JJ. Mark my chat. Mark my chat. Mark my chat, JJ. On this day, October 15th at 9:09 p.m. Eastern Time, another dinger is coming in this inning. And I stand by that, and I plead my case, or I rest my case. No, I'm kidding. That sounds good, man. What two teams would make the best World Series? Would make the best World Series? Probably Mariners, Dodgers, with the way the things have gone. The pitch, that's outside for ball 2. Part of me also wants to see Toronto Blue Jays make it just because I would love to see Teoscar go up against his former team. It's 2 balls, no strikes. George Kirby is still pitching for the Seattle Mariners. We're in the top of the 4th. 5-2 Toronto. Clement is in the box. Kirby is on the hill. His jersey number is 68. He kicks, he deals. That sinker is down the hatch for strike 1. No spoilers, just the Northwest Indiana intuition vibes, JJ. Let's go. The 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. They actually didn't even check his swing. It looked like the catcher wanted an appeal. I guess the home plate umpire wasn't looking. I don't know. 3-1, though, regardless, to Ernie Clement. And now Kirby kicks and fires again and attacks the zone again for strike 2. If the Blue Jays win tonight, they will win the series, says Neil. Ooh. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Strike 3, called at the knees. That's the 3rd strikeout for George Kirby, and that could not have come in a better time. I mean, he really needed that. He fell behind in the count, was able to come back into the count, and Clement was caught looking at a pitch that he thought was going to be ball 4, and, oh, that was clearly a strike. No way to guard that. Here comes Andres Jimenez. He's down in the count 0-1. Kirby kicks and deals, swing and a miss on a knuckle curve that went dancing and twirling on inside and low. So the fastball is working. The curveball has life to it now. And Kirby just trying to keep it a 3-run deficit for Seattle. 0-2 on the way. That knuckle curve is fouled away by Andres Jimenez. Still here, just cooking some dinner. Ooh. What's up, Wendy? What are we having for dinner? What's for dinner tonight? What am I eating for dinner? 0-2 pitch. That ball was poked foul right behind home plate. What you making me? That was Andres Jimenez's first homer in his last 99 at-bats. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and George Kirby fires a curveball that is in the dirt And Jimenez decides to offer at it. And that is another strikeout for George. Make that now 4 strikeouts for Kirby. The pitch to Springer. He swings and lifts this one out to center field. Rodriguez looks up. It's gone. George took George Yard. And Nathan Lukes comes on up, dude. That thing went really far. Lukes comes on up to the plate, and he takes ball 1. And so it's 1 ball, no strikes to Nathan Lukes. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that is a slider that is in there for strike 1. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch to Lukes, swing and a miss on the knuckle curve there. George Kirby with pitch number 68, and that pitch is grounded over towards the right side of the mound. Kirby has it, takes his time, throws it over to first, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. George Springer adds on to this Toronto lead and sends one out to dead center field. That thing absolutely carried. And, well, the Blue Jays able to extend their lead by 4. We're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. 6-2 Toronto. That shot went 431 feet. Crazy. Oy, oy, oy. Mark my chat, JJ. Call me the GOAT, JJ. You did. You called it. You called it. Give him the crown, chat. Give him the crown. Jason is the king. Let's go. Give him those crowns in the chat and have the man take a bow. Road teams are eating so far in the 3rd round. The 3rd round? Oh, it's so weird to call this the 3rd round. It's so weird. Crazy. It's true. It is technically the 3rd round. But yes, it's weird when you put it that way. 6-2 Toronto. 7 hits, 6 runs. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Stephen A. Smith says that the Dodgers-Brewers series is over. Just wanted to throw that out there. Stephen A. Smith says that. Is he right? Or is he wrong? There's those crowns. Good for you, man. Want to hear quotes from Jordan Mailata? I'll give you one. If we can establish a run game, that'll take care of everything. That was from Zach Berman. Well, that's what he said to Zach Berman. I just saw that quote. Made me think about the terrible running game that the Eagles have had this year. Friendly clouds in the sky at a T-Mobile Park. They're very spread. There's sunshine in the background. a little bit of orange, a lot of blue. Here comes Josh Naylor in the first pitch. Is fouled off of his foot. It is no balls and 1 strike. 6 runs for Toronto, 2 for Seattle. The top 3 hitters today for the Blue Jays are 4 for 8 with 3 runs scored and a home run. 1 ball, 1 strike to Josh Naylor. And the pitch, ground ball towards the right side, picked up by Ernie Clement. He takes his time and throws it over to first for the first out of the inning. Okay. So Naylor grounds out the second. Mariners today are 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They've left 2 men on base. Here comes Gino, who takes a slider that is wide. Also popped out in the first. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, got a slider there, and Bieber threw it in a good spot. Here's the 1-1 offering. Ball's popped up over towards the first base side, and now to play it goes. It's about 6 rows deep or so. Maybe a little bit further than that. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch is going to bounce in the dirt for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 4th. 1 out. Suarez in the box. The 2-2 pitch on the way. There's a ground ball hit sharply over to third. Barger has it, picks it up, throws it over to first. And the second out is recorded. We are going to go raid Orioles Bird Watcher. Once this inning is done, I would like to go say hi to BW and give him a shout out. So if you wouldn't mind following me over there once this inning is over, I would appreciate it. I'm going to post the link in the chat, and that is where we are going to head to after this inning is done. We got 62 people watching, only 24 likes, chat. Come on, hit that thumbs up button. 1-0 pitch, line drive, foul ball towards the right side. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 4th. There's 2 away. 6-2 Toronto. Canzone is in the box. The next pitch, and that's fouled right off of Alejandro Kirk. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. If you guys do see any illegal streamers, because there are some, please report them. I am being serious about that. There are a lot of people that are doing illegal streams, and we do have to shut them down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-2 pitch. That ball is bounced foul over towards the right side. I don't like to be that guy, but that is not fair to the other content creators. It's not. Bieber has gone 3 2/3. He's given up just 2 earned runs. It was a 2-run shot that he allowed to Julio Rodriguez. The 2-2 on the way. It's a foul ball. Hit over towards the left side. Let's see if Luke has room, and he cannot make the catch. Almost. His wingspan was just a little bit longer. I think he would have had it, but went just out of reach there. One more step, he would have had it. He did collide into that foul ball netting. He is okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone, bottom of the 4th. Dominic Canzone is in the box. Bieber kicks, fires. That pitch is lined foul towards the right side. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We got 74 people watching. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, folks. Ring the bell. Ring that bell. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him. All right, so we are going to go say hi to BW. The link is posted right now. Let's go say hi, and we will be right back in just a few seconds. I just posted the link. It's in the chat. If you can't come, that's fine, but if you're in the shadows, come on over, and let's go say hi and raid BW. Comes Vladdy, and he sends a missile out to center field. Rodriguez looks up, and it is gone. That was on the first pitch. Kirby has given up the long ball 4 times tonight. One ball, no strikes to Anthony Santander. Top of the fifth. The 1-0 pitch that misses outside for ball two. There was a slider. Two-0 pitch. And that is a knuckle curve that's in there for a strike. All right. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. That misses outside for ball three. Three balls, 1 strike. Top of the fifth. Nobody out. Kirby kicks and deals, and that pitch is outside and high. For ball four, there's a walk. All right. 7-2 Toronto, top of the fifth. Nobody out. That's going to be it for George Kirby. His night is done, and we will have a pitch and change. Again, the Blue Jays do lead at 7-2. Yeah, not to get philosophical here, but I always feel like that we tend to look at sports as a getaway. I know that we critique the team that we follow, okay, especially here in Philadelphia. We do. But when it comes to just watching any type of sport, whether it's tennis, whether it's baseball, whether it's, I don't know, pickleball, basketball, football, and whatnot, I think that sometimes that we tend to forget about the fun of the game, especially when we're deeply into it, and what makes the game fun, like what makes the game enjoyable. And especially when we go through really tough times as fans and our fandom just crashes, I think that we sometimes lose sight of what got us into the game, what got us into the sport, and what made our passion, like how did we fall in love with it. And I just wanted to ask you, for those of you that are tuning on in, you're more than welcome to share, but like what made you fall in love with the game of baseball? Like, what actually made you fall in love with it? What made you hooked to that TV? What made you want to go to that stadium and just witness watching a game in person? Did you play the sport? Did you have a catch with somebody? Was it a bonding experience? Like, what was it for you? Carlos Vargas is going to come on in the pitch, by the way. It's 1 ball, no strikes. 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Now Alejandro Kirk is in the box. And the pitch, ground ball past the dive of J.P. Crawford out to center field. And there's a single. And so Santander will stop on over at second base. And Alejandro Kirk singles out to center field. So George Kirby, his night is done. 4 innings, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 homers allowed, not 4. And Vargas has stepped on in. Remember, the runner over at first is still Kirby's responsibility, but now the runner is at second. There are runners over at first and second, but the responsibility of his is Anthony Santander. Varsho versus Vargas, and the pitch is swung on and missed. I'll tell you really how I fell in love with baseball. I'll tell it to you in a break. But again, please tell me, what actually got you into it? What made you come back? The ball is 1 strike. The pitch, and that's down for a ball. And I will be reading your stories. One ball, 1 strike to Dalton Varsho. The windup and the pitch. And that is going to be taken for now a 1-2 count. Varsho had a 2-run double in that 5-run third inning. Here's the 1-2 delivery. That ball is fouled back towards the screen. Carlos Vargas, 26 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 210 pounds, right-handed pitcher. He's on the bump. 1-2 pitch. The ball's popped up over towards shallow right field. Polanco over on the outfield grass, backpedals, waits for it, and snags it for the first out of the inning. Addison Barger is coming on up to the plate. Barger takes down for ball 1. That's a cutter. And it is 1 ball, no strikes. The Cubs growing up in Gary, Indiana in the 80s was madness. Had me hooked at the age of 7. 1 ball, no strikes in the pitch. That ball is popped out over towards left field. Rosarina is there, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Tell me about that team. What made you fall in love? Was it Dawson? I don't know if Dawson was on that team. Were there just certain moments? Was there magic in the air that you felt that was just you know what, I gotta lend my soul to this, and I gotta put stock into this game just because of a certain moment or a certain player? Top of the 5th in the pitch, and there is a line drive hit out to right field for a base hit, and so 1 run is going to come on in to score. The throw from the right fielder over to third base, and Kirk is out. Great assist there by Victor Robles. However, a run will score. It is called an RBI single for Addison Barger, and so Anthony Santander scores. It's 8-2 Toronto, and we are going to the bottom of the 5th. The deficit has increased to 6 for Seattle. Okay. Yes. I loved the game of baseball, of course, when I was growing up. But I'll put it to you this way, okay? I really liked, when I was really young, I was a part of this Challenger Baseball League, okay? Got to hit with them and got to play catch with the athletes. And I really enjoyed that. I did. I liked seeing people come together with all different types of circumstances, and seeing everybody just come together on that baseball diamond and be able to play on the same team. You know? Everybody got along. Everybody bonded together. And just to be able to play catch with them, just to be able to see them hit, even if it was off a tee or even if it was off of a pitch, just watching some of them just run on over to first base. Especially for the ones where it was like really tough for them to get a hit. And it took them time to work on their swing. It took them time to make contact with the ball or just put the bat on the ball. I really liked being a part of that because I think that it sort of made my love of the game. It made it more, I don't know what the right word is, but it made me love it more. I like the idea of community. I like the idea of bringing people together and working towards a goal. I really do enjoy that. And I think that just from that experience, helping out those athletes with all different types of disabilities, I think that really did make me fall in love with just the game of baseball more. And the sport as a whole, too. But I would answer it in that sort of regard. I also did help out with the Special Olympics, too, when I was in high school. And that was fun. They had a softball team, and I was a part of that for 2 years. And that was something else that was really cool, getting to know them. We're in the bottom of the fifth, by the way. Victor Robles is up. 1 ball, no strikes. And here's the 1-0. There's a slider that is swung on and missed for strike 1. What's up, Scott? Michael says, played high school baseball 4 years and experienced how hard it is. If you didn't play, you didn't know how hard every pitch is. That's correct. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the fifth. There's nobody out. It's 8-2 Toronto. Robles is going to fly this one over towards the second baseman, Clement. And he says, come to Papa. There's out number 1. Just waited for it and caught it right into the glove for the first out. Up now is J.P. Crawford. In case you're wondering how did we get here, we'll give you a little recap in just a couple of seconds. J.P. Crawford is up. He's 0 for 1, and he fouls off a fastball. George Kirby lasted 4 innings today. He gave up 8 earned runs, and he allowed 2 walks. He did strike out 4, but left a lot of fastballs out over the middle of the zone. Crawford lines a single back up the middle, out to center field. And JP will stand on over at first base. He's now 1 for 2 on the evening so far. So the Seattle Mariners had a 2-0 lead. Julio Rodriguez homered in his second game in a row in the bottom of the first. So he led the Mariners to a 2-0 lead. And then the Toronto Blue Jays, they put up 5 runs in the third inning. They added on a run in the fourth and added 2 in the sixth. 2 in the fifth, excuse me. The pitch to Arozarena, that's taken down for a ball. They hit 3 homers off of George Kirby. One of them was by Vladdy. Another one was by Andres Jimenez. That homer tied the game. And you also had a solo shot from George Springer as well out to straightaway center. Dalton Varsho had a 2-run double. Ernie Clement had an RBI as well. A lot of offense. 2 balls, no strikes to Randy Arozarena. And Bieber kicks and deals, throws a strike. Besides that first inning home run, Shane Bieber has been excellent. That slider has looked absolutely nasty. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bieber gets the signs and deals. And that pitch is down in the way for ball 3. It was Ryan Sandberg. Harry Carey. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. Ground ball hit over towards the third baseman. The throw to second, there's 1. The throw to first, it's not in time. Randy Arozarena beats out the throw. Vladdy also I don't think he got his foot on the bag. But Randy still beats it out anyways. It's a fielder's choice. Cal will step on into the box. One swing cuts the deficit in half. Cal tonight 0 for 2. Vladdy leading the way for Toronto. He's 3 for 3. And Ernie Clement 2 for 3. The pitch to Cal. It's off the plate, and not by much. One ball, no strikes. 2 away, bottom of the 5th. The stretch and the pitch, and Raleigh pops this one up over towards the first base side and foul ground. Who's going to get there? Nobody will. Kirk and Vladdy were there, and it went just over the dugout. Just behind the dugout. We got 31 likes. We got 65 people tuning on in. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, folks. Again, we go live for every single MLB playoff game. We're grinding very hard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away, bottom of the 5th. The stretch and the pitch. That changeup is taken for ball 2. Actually, it looked like it was a strike. Fluharty is warming up in the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen. The 2-1 pitch to Cal. That is going to be a foul ball towards the right side. But yeah, that's really how I further loved the game of baseball, just by helping out the community. Really. I think that it's really important to try to give back. I'm trying to get back to my roots of that, you know? It's really important to me. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 5th. There's 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch, here it comes. Swing and a miss, and Cal is down on strikes. All right, we're going to go to the top of the 6th inning. It is 8-2 Blue Jays. And I will step aside for just a second. I'll be right back. All right, we're going to go to the top of the 6th inning. Blue Jays do lead it 8-2. Andres Jimenez, George Springer, and Nathan Lukes are all due up for Toronto. Again, 8 runs for the Blue Jays. Before this game, Toronto had only put up 4 runs in this series. They were getting outscored 13-4. They lost 3-1 to Seattle in Game 1 on October 12th. And on October 13th, they ended up losing by a score of 10-3. Here comes Andres Jimenez, who tied up the game once upon a time. Jimenez does foul off the first pitch. Hit a 2-run shot back in the 3rd. The ball is 1 strike. Vargas still pitching. And the 0-1, that ball is punched over towards the left side and underneath the glove of Suarez out to left field for a base hit. So Andres gets on for the 2nd time tonight. And, well, he's over at first. So we're in the top of the 6th, and now George Springer is going to step on up to the plate and bat for his 4th time tonight. 8-2 Toronto. Jimenez was looking at Budzinski, who was the first base coach for the Toronto Blue Jays. The pitch. And that is taken at the knees for strike 1. The ball is 1 strike. There's the 0-1 pitch to Springer. He flies this one out to right field. That's going to bloop and get down for a base hit over on that right field line. Jimenez is going to make his way over to 3rd. The throw is cut off by the second baseman Polanco, and that'll put runners at the corners within a blink of an eye. Have yourself a 2-hit night. George Springer and Nathan Lukes is going to bat once again. They will pass the baton to him. A total of 12 hits for the Toronto Blue Jays, and they have put up 8 runs. Runners at 1st and 3rd. We'll see what ends up happening. But Lukes is going to step on into the box. And I believe that we will have a pitching change. So Vargas' night is done. We'll see who enters on in for Seattle once they come back from the break. Blue Jays are 3 for 8 tonight with runners in scoring position. They've left a total of 3 men on base. Just wanted to throw that out there for you guys too. We'll take a look at some of the NHL scores right now and go around the National Hockey League. All right. So the Blackhawks and the Blues just got started. They're in the first period. The Calgary Flames and the Utah Mammoth are playing against each other. There's no score there. Ottawa Senators, they ended up losing to the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 8-4. And the Florida Panthers, they lost to Patrick Kane and the Red Wings 4-1. So those are all your NHL scores. Man. Oh, boy. I went to go visit a friend today. That was really cool. I got a haircut. For those of you that didn't notice, a haircut and a beard trim. And I went to go visit this guy. He just moved down back to not that far from where I am. And I went to go visit him and go visit his new apartment. Just moved in about a week ago or so. And I got to catch up with him. Got a tour of the apartment. And, you know, it made me realize today, just by doing that, how important it is to be able to cherish friendships that you make. And never forget the people who, were an intricate part of your life. And to not take that for granted. Not saying that I did. But, talking to them on the phone, catching up with people on the phone is one thing. But there's something about going to visit somebody and just hanging out with them in person that just makes that whole it just adds, I don't want to say realness to the friendship, but makes it feel more wholesome, And sometimes I think that we sort of lose sight of that. The pitch. There's a ground ball hit over towards the first baseman, and a run will score. That's Andres Jimenez, and there's one out. It is an RBI ground out. They will now intentionally walk Vladdy Guerrero Jr. They just came back from the break, so we didn't really get to celebrate that, but it is 9-2 Toronto. Again, an RBI ground out by Nathan Lukes, and of course an intentional walk to Vladdy Guerrero Jr. It is 9-2 Toronto. Top of the sixth, one away. Caleb Ferguson is pitching. Didn't even get to introduce him. And the pitch is taken down in the dirt for a ball. Looking Philly fresh, JJ. Thank you. Dallas, thank you so much. I appreciate that. 1 ball, no strikes. Miles Straw is in the box. Again, 9 runs on 12 hits for the Jays. And here's the windup in the pitch. That is down and in for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. In the top of the sixth, 1 gone. And Ferguson's 2-0 pitch is in there for strike 1 at the knees. It was a fastball. The 2-1 delivery. The ball is fouled away over towards the first base side, and that will find the seats. Anybody know when the last time the Blue Jays put up 9 runs in a playoff game? Before this postseason. 2 balls, 1 strike on the pitch, and that's fouled away. 9 or more runs. Two balls, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And there is out number 2. Two outs, top of the sixth, and the pitch is taken down for a ball. Anybody know when the last time the Blue Jays scored 9 or more runs in a playoff game before this season? The 1-0 pitch on the way, that's a fastball that's in there for strike 1. And so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Ferguson kicks and deals, and that pitch is lifted out to right field. That ball is going back towards the track, and looking up, it's gone. It's now 12 runs, Toronto. Alejandro Kirk goes the opposite way and launches a bomb, and the boos come flying down in Seattle. see. Here's Dalton Varsho. Takes a fastball thrown by Ferguson in the strike zone for strike one. It is no balls and one strike to Dalton Varsho. Here's the 0-1. There's a line drive base hit out to center field. And Rodriguez does play it on a bounce. And it's now 12-2. You called it, Jason. You were absolutely tearing it up. The answer, my friends, to the trivia question, the last time the Blue Jays scored 9 or more runs in a playoff game before this year was on October 12th of 2016. They ended up beating the Texas Rangers in Game 1 of the ALDS, and the score was 10-1. One ball, no strikes. A 4-run 6th inning. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Addison Barger chased after that sinker. That's the 4th homer of the night. Ding dong. The 1-1 pitch. That sinker catches the knees for strike 2. And it is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Addison Barger. What a game. Top of the 6th, 2 away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barger at the plate and the pitch. Ground ball hit over to the first baseman Naylor. The throw to second, it was low, but dug out by Crawford. And there's out number 3 anyways. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 12-2, Toronto. All right. Folks, just a reminder, and again, nobody has to do this, but just a reminder, if you guys do want to donate to the channel, you most certainly can. I don't usually say it too often, but just wanted to let you guys know that it is still there. Memberships are also $2.99 a month. If you want to become a member, you can do that as well. Now that the Philly season is done, we're going to be getting our emotes ready for the Sixers and for the Eagles, of course. We'll continue to do that. Would also like to try to maybe have a couple more membership streams. Might try to do that and bring that back if I can. So, but yeah, if you get a member, you do get exclusive streams as well. You will. I will make a way to do that sometime. All right. 12-2 Jays. Again, 14 hits for Toronto, and they're just putting up a lot of runs. I had a teacher when I was in 5th grade. Shout out to him. His name was Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers was the man. I loved Mr. Myers. I had him the only year that he taught 5th grade. He was a 4th grade teacher at my school. And then he moved up to 5th grade. Then he became a guidance counselor. And he still is a guidance counselor at another school. Well, one day, he read us this book, and he would gather like all the kids together, and he would read this book in the back of the classroom. It was called A Wrinkle in Time. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Time Quintet series by Madeline Leangle, but he would read us that book, and then we got into the second book. It's a really, really good book. I really enjoyed that. But after we read that book one day, I believe it was in October. Well, of course, it had to have been in October. He puts on the TV, okay? and we're watching the Phillies parade. So this was back, of course, in 2008. We had a Halloween party that day, too. But he put on the parade on the TV, on the smart board, because they just had smart boards back then. The pitch, and that's in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And just seeing him in his Phillies jersey that he had, and some of the tears that were rolling down, his and some of the students' faces, made me realize, man, this is special. This is really cool. 1 ball, 1 strike in the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. And then, of course, Chase Utley comes on, and he talks. And he says, world effing champions. And we're all jumping up and down in the classroom. And it was just such a great day. That, to me, is like what sports is all about. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's inside for ball 3. But my gosh, that was special. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here's the payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and there's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So now it's Jorge Polanco who will step on up to the plate as Rodriguez is down on strikes. The pitch. There's a swing and a miss. What's up, Liz? What's up, Blitzed? Need Suarez and Naylor for a hit ball. A hit ball or a home run? Need them to get a hit or hit a home run. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball hit over to the shortstop. Backhanded, and the throw on over to first base. That's in time to get Jorge Polanco out. Nice play there by Andres Jimenez. So there's 2 away. Two gone, bottom of the 6th. Again, 12-2 is the score between Toronto and Seattle. They lead it by 10. Bieber ties his postseason career high strikeouts with 8. The pitch, ground ball hit sharply over to Vladdy, underhanded throw over to first, and Bieber jumps up, makes the catch, tags the bag, and there's out number 3. Guerrero jumped up for a second as if, he thought to himself, that's going to go over his head, and he was saying, oh no, jumping up and down. But Bieber jumps up and down for joy rather than for anxiety. We're going to go to the 7th inning, 12-2, Toronto. Let's take a sip of water. Really love this pen that I have. Guys, I do keep score, by the way. I do. I have a score book that I have, and I'm able to keep score. I do follow along with the game, and I like to do it because, A, we were always taught that in broadcasting because it's easier to follow along, but also, B, it keeps me on track. It helps me stay organized, and, technology is great. Don't get me wrong. Technology certainly does have its pros. And its cons, too, especially with AI. But to not be able to have something on a screen and just to be able to write it down and have it in front of you and have notes in front of you and those types of things, it all does help. It just does. It helps you stay organized, and you're not hunting for things. And that, to me, is like what makes keeping score cool. And so I have like a big one. I keep score my own way. There's certain things that I know traditionally you have to do, but I think that it doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, as long as you know what ends up happening, that's, to me, what ultimately does matter. And I like to keep these things, I like to sometimes hold on to these score books just because I like to look back and see who was in the lineup certain days and which games we ended up calling. It's sort of like a documentation of what we did and what the final scores were, who started, who pitched. It's like a picture. A scorebook to me says 1,000 words. Just does. And that is like what's really cool. And I'm sure that so many broadcasters, especially baseball broadcasters, will tell you that they keep their scorebooks too. But yeah, it's something that I like to look back on. I saw Gene Segura the other day in my scorebook, and I'm like, wow. Another person that I saw in my scorebook, Ronald Torres. I wasn't calling any of those games that year, but I kept score of that game. The ball is 1 strike. We're in the top of the 7th. There's nobody out. Jimenez is on deck. The 0-1 pitch. That is swung on and missed. Jose, what time is the press conference tomorrow? What time is the press conference tomorrow? Thanks for telling me about that. I think that we'll stream that. The ball is 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 7th. The windup and the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. It's on the YouTube side of things. I think that we'll play it. One ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 7th. Nobody out. And the pitch. That ball is popped back towards the screen. And it will go on out of play. 11 a.m. Thanks for telling me. We'll be streaming that. I will have to make my stream. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ernie Clement. And the next pitch is grounded foul over towards the left side. Two balls, 2 strikes. 12 runs for the Jays on 14 hits. The 2-2. That's a foul ball. And just to put it to you in this perspective, Toronto did put up 1 run in the first game. They only had 2 hits. One after that leadoff homer by George Springer. In game 2, they put up 3 runs on a total of how many hits? 6. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball. Hit out over towards left field. Arozarena is there. Waits for it. And will make the easy catch for the first out of the 7th. Here's something interesting. Listen to this. As the first pitch is grounded foul by Andres Jimenez. It's the first time since 1970 that both LCS road teams went 2-0. There were also 2 leadoff homers on the first pitch. George Springer had one in Game 1 of the ALCS, and Jackson Churio had one in Game 2 of the NLCS. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. And that is going to be lined out to left field for a base hit. So there is a 1-out single here in the top of the 7th inning. The ball is 1 strike to George Springer. Daniel's here. What's up, Daniel? Hopefully Brewers can have some of the Blue Jays mojo tomorrow. Maybe. That could be. 0-1 pitch. That cutter is in there for strike 2. The ball's 2 strikes to George Springer. One out, top of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. And there's a foul ball that will go on out of play. Luke's is 3 for 4. Was 3 for 4. That was in the last game. Tonight, however, Springer's 2 for 4. Luke's is 1 for 4. And Guerrero Jr. is 3 for 3. Oh-2 pitch. That's down for a ball. And no throw made over to second as Jimenez does advance on the wild pitch. Vladdy Guerrero, who is up next, has, well, potentially something special. In his next at-bat, possibly, that he could do. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and the pitch, swing and a miss. And George Springer is down on strikes. There's out number 2. All right. So Vladdy is coming on up to the plate after Nathan Lukes comes up, and Lukes is going to ground this one over towards the right side. Second baseman has it, throws it over to first, and that's in time for out number 3. Sorry, I got a little bit confused there, but Vladdy will lead off the top of the 8th, but first we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th, and we'll take a step aside. We'll be right back. All right, we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 12-2 Jays against the Seattle Mariners. Braden Fisher is going to come on in to pitch. And the first pitch that is thrown is a fastball that's up high for ball 1. Eugenio Suarez is up at the plate currently. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. It was a slider. Caught the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gino. The pitch to Gino, and he lines one out to left, and that'll get down for a base hit. Gino does get on with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And, well, ends up getting his first hit of the ball game. That'll put him over at first base. Tell you what, Bieber was absolutely phenomenal today. Looked like his old self from when he was in a Cleveland Guardians uniform. Went 6 innings, struck out 8 batters. This was a start that the Toronto Blue Jays, well, with their season on the line, and again, I know it's game 3 of a best of 7, but you got to punch your way back into the series. They needed him, and he absolutely produced. 1 ball, no strikes to Dominic Canzone. And the pitch on the way, that's outside for ball 2. Canzone is 28 years old. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. Fisher on the mound. Kicks, deals, and the pitch is fouled away. Two balls, 1 strike. The stretch and the pitch. That ball was yanked foul towards the right side. Seattle's first 2 hitters tonight, they're 0 for 5 combined with a run scored. Two on the way. Ground ball hit over to the second baseman. The throw over the shortstop. There's 1. The throw to first. There's 2. And that is a 4-6-3 double play. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Folks, if you are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button as well. And turn on the bell icons too. Are you going to be on for Eagles on Sunday? Of course I am. Of course. Cover the Eagles, the Sixers, and the Phillies on this channel. The ball is 1 strike. Absolutely. Victor Robles, who is 0 for 2, is down in the count 0-1. The pitch, there's a slider, and he takes it. He tried to appeal, he did not go. Just Baseball just tweeted out, before this year, only 2 pitchers in Blue Jays history had a playoff start with 8+ strikeouts and 2 or fewer earned runs. Next pitch, it's now 2 balls, 1 strike. They've already done it twice this postseason. That is Shane Bieber, who did it tonight, and Trey Savage, who did it in the first round against the Yankees. Next pitch, and that ball is popped up over towards the third base side, and the third baseman will make the catch. That's Addison Barger, and we're going to go to the 8th inning. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. is going to come on up to the plate. Vladdy needs a triple to get the cycle, guys. He had a single, an infield single in the first inning. He then hit a home run, and he also walked, and he also doubled. Ended up doubling in the third, singling in the first, homering in the 5th, and getting intentionally walked in the 6th. Oh, yes. So we'll be on for that. Crazy. There have been talks about Albert Pujols being a part of the interview process of the Orioles managerial position. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think it'd be really cool for Albert, of course, if he would get it. Like, yeah, like that'd be so awesome, and we would congratulate him. But can he turn that if he, and again, they're just going through the process of trying to get a manager. Could you see Albert Pujols as a good manager in baseball? I don't know. Maybe. I think it would be really interesting. I do. Tomorrow we got the Phillies press conference. We'll be live for that. That'll be at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be reacting to the live press conference that Dave Dombrowski will provide. And that'll be cool. Looking forward to that. I don't know if the Phillies posted it or if NBC Sports Philadelphia has the link. But if they do, that would be great. Let's double check that. Again, folks, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys turn on the bell icons too. Yes, they do. They do. They do have it. It's at 11 a.m. Okay. And that is when we'll be live. We'll be on it like 10:45. Luke Jackson is going to go out there to pitch for the Seattle Mariners. He has a 2-5 record, a 4.06 ERA. Pitch to Vladdy, and he slices one out to right field. That's going to go all the way towards the wall. Can he get three here? He's going to go on over to second base. Rodriguez's throw is going to be off the line, and he'll just stay put over at second base. It's not the cycle, but he does get on with another double. That's the fifth time that he has gotten on base today. It would not have made it over to third, but oh, man, that would have been something. But still, how about 5 times getting on base for Vladdy Guerrero Jr.? Blue Jays are looking, and they're like, oh, come on, man. Here is Straw. Straw takes a ball. It was a wise decision that he stayed on over at second base. It was. Vladdy was 0 for 7 in the first 2 games, and tonight he's 4 for 4. 1 ball, 1 strike in the top of the 8th inning. The 1-1 pitch that is down and away for ball 2. There's only been 1 cycle in the postseason? Really? Brock Holt did it in 2018 against the Yankees. And I do remember that. That was the year that the Red Sox won the World Series. I remember that, actually. That was the year that Stanton went like 0 for 16 in the playoffs, I think. Something along those lines. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's when Judge and Stanton were so cold. This pitch was grounded over to second, I believe. Regardless, there's out number 1, and now Alejandro Kirk is up. Straw did ground out the short. Kirk takes ball 1. Luke Jackson pitching for the Seattle Mariners. He deals, and the pitch is inside for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Jackson gets set at the belt and delivers. Throws a slider that catches the outside corner for strike 1. 12 runs, 16 hits for the Toronto Blue Jays. Put up 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 4 in the sixth. They did not score in the seventh. 2-1 pitch. It's down and away for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. And Kirk fouls off the next pitch. That's a slider. It's 3-2. Everyone's going to ask, could Vladdy have gotten a triple there? Well, to be honest with you, he made the right choice. Even if you're up by 10 in the playoffs, it's the playoffs. Can't make one silly mistake. 3-2 pitch. There's a ground ball hit over to the third baseman, Suarez. He picks it up, throws it over to first in plenty of time. And there's 2 gone. Hit that thumbs up button, folks. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icons too. And that way you will know when we do go live for baseball coverage. Our show is 2 for 4 with a double, a single, and 2 RBI as well. First pitch, here it comes, and there's a swing and a miss. Raleigh's looking for the baseball, and Vladdy is going to march his way over to third base. And so it is no balls, 1 strike here in the top of the 8th inning. Alrighty. 12-2 Toronto. Rodriguez is warming up in the pen. Our show is 2 for 4. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Now the count is 0-2. Jackson comes set and deals, and there's a strike 3 called at the knees. We're going to go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 12-2 Toronto. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere, folks. See you soon. All right, we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 12-2 Jays. And here is Crawford. First pitch to him. There's a swing and a miss. Ariel Rodriguez is on the mound for Toronto. It's a 3-2 record, a 3.08 ERA. The ball is 1 strike, by the way. Nobody out, bottom of the 8th. The pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over towards shallow left field. Who's going to get there? The left fielder will, and there's the catch for the first out of the inning. That's Miles Straw out in left field as a defensive replacement for the Blue Jays. Here's Randy Arozarena. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. 12-2 Jays. The windup and the pitch. That slider is in there for a called strike. Mariners were 51-30 this year at home. Also had a 90-72 record. 0-1 pitch. That's a slider that's in there for strike 2. So it's no balls, 2 strikes. Folks, if you are new to the channel, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We go on and cover the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Eagles, but we're also doing the baseball playoffs as well. The 0-2 pitch. That slider misses outside and low for a ball. One ball, 2 strikes. The windup and the pitch. That's outside for a ball. This is Yariel Rodriguez pitching for Toronto. He's 28 years old. He's from Cuba. He has a 3.08 ERA. The 2-2 pitch. That is just low for ball 3. And not by much. This is Yariel's 2nd season with the big league club. 3-2 pitch, and Arozarena flies one out to left field, and that ball is absolutely murdered. It's gone. That'll cut the deficit to 9, but Randy Arozarena finally leaves the yard for the first time this postseason. Gets high fives from his teammates. It's a 12-3 ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning. All right, so Randy does homer. And Cal Raleigh is now up at the plate. Raleigh takes a pitch at the knees for a called strike. There's Randy holding that trident. That's his first homer and 107 ABs. The ball is 1 strike to Cal Raleigh. The pitch. That's down for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Raleigh is 0 for 3. He fouled out, popped out, and struck out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez kicks, fires, and Raleigh sends one out to right field, and that ball is gone as well. Got it just over the fence. A homer on Derby out in Seattle. Nice swing there by Cal. Just got it on over the fence. And almost caught by the right fielder for Toronto. Here comes J-Rod, and he takes a pitch that misses inside for ball 1. And he's ahead in the count, 1-0. Raleigh's the first player with 3+ postseason homers after 60+ homers during the regular season. That's according to Fox Sports. The 1-0 delivery, it's down for ball 2. It's now 2 balls, no strikes. Is Philly halftime here? Did I miss Philly halftime? Maybe not. The 2-0 pitch. That's a fastball, a slider that's taken for strike 1. Flaharty is warming up in the Jays bullpen. Haley, I'm so happy to see you. Thanks so much for being on here. It means the world. The 2-1 pitch to Rodriguez. He flies one out to center field. That will stay in the yard. It's warning track power, and there is out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th. It's nights like tonight, like where we say to ourselves, you know, it's really awesome just to be able to, you know, it's just so nice to really see, you know, all the diehards out there. It really is. You know? And it's a feel-good thing. I think that's awesome. Here comes Leo Rivas, and he looks to the called strike. There's a guy who has a Nike shoe that he's balancing off of his head. Also has a winter hat on. Let's see how long he can hold it for. 0-1 pitch. That's a foul ball. Are they going to pan back whenever it falls? Maybe they should. See, if this was me in the booth, I would want that to be timed. I'd want them to get a timer out and then still have a camera focus on him. But I don't have that type of control. The ball is 2 strikes. Rivas is up. Jorge Polanco, his night is done. Ended up going 1 for 4. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. I don't know what to do with myself from November through February. It's going to be a lot, Haley. I know. I hear you loud and clear. I need to rest up, though. I do need that rest. And again, like, we'll still be doing stuff. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. The one thing I'm actually trying to do next year, Haley, is I want to go to a game next year, and I want us to like have like a suite or something where we could just get like a group of people together and just, you know, be able to like rent out a suite or something just for like one game and see if we can get some of like our supporters there. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and we're going to go to the 9th inning. 12-4 is the score. The Jays do lead it by 8 against the Seattle Mariners. I think that'd be like really cool. I know the NYY Underground does something like that every year. I don't know how they have the funds to do something like that, or if it's just through networking or whatnot, but I like the idea of that, and I would like to try to explore something like that. That'd be really cool. It'll be a community thing. Yeah, that's essentially what I want to do next year, to sort of outdo things that we've done this year. I want to try to get more of a community. I'd like to try to do some more community things. I think that would be something that we could do next year as something, you know? I care about the bonds that we have on here. I do. I want to try to expand it, and also not only expand it to other Philadelphia fans, but I want to expand it to other baseball fans too. So that's what I'm trying to do. And everything is a trial and error. I'm going to make mistakes on here. I've made a lot of mistakes on here. I'm willing to try new things, though. You know? If you don't try, you never know. Dr. DeLay is here. What's up, Doc? I'm so happy to see you on here, my friend. It's good to see you, man. Guys, make sure you guys go subscribe to Dr. DeLay. I'm going to post his link in the chat. Let me get his channel up. I got you. Hold up 1 second. And don't forget, guys, we are going to go on for the Phillies press conference tomorrow, and we will see what Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thompson do have to say, and we will be reacting to that live tomorrow for sure. So, yes, here is Dr. DeLay's channel. Whoops, that's Twitter. That's not Dr. DeLay. Doc, do you actually have a Twitter? I actually have been curious about that because I'd like to follow you. I don't know if you're on the socials or not, but if you are, feel free to post that down below, my friend. All right, we're in the top of the 9th inning. 12-4 is the score between the Jays and the Mariners. Cross 1.5K tonight. Let's go. That deserves a round of applause, my friend. Addison Barger is up. It's 1 ball, no strikes. We're in the top of the 9th. Jackson gets set and deals. Throws a slider that's in there for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and there's a high drive hit out to right field, and that ball is crushed. Holy cow! That thing went flying out of here, and the home run derby continues out in Seattle. Unbelievable. They got a fastball down the middle and absolutely scorched that thing out to right. It was not even close. It was way out of there. Andres Jimenez comes up, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. It's like batting practice for these Toronto Blue Jays. That ball is flying. So Barger does homer. Jimenez flies one out to left center field. Rodriguez tracks it down towards the left side, makes the catch, and there's 2 gone in this top of the 9th. Doc says we already follow each other. I forgot. I totally forgot. I can't lie. I can't sugarcoat it. I forgot. Here is George Springer, and he launches one out to right field, but that's going to get down for a base hit. Springer does get on with a single. Tell you something, this would be interesting. If Nathan Lukes gets on here, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. has a chance to not only try to get the cycle, but he could also get on base 6 times today, which would also be insane. 2 outs, Nathan Lukes is up. White batting gloves for Lukes. The first pitch to Lukes is in there for a strike. It's a curveball, and the count is 0-1. You think we're keeping Kevin Long? Seems like our hitting has been what's holding us back. I think Kevin Long is actually gone. I do. The pitch, there's a grounder towards the right side. The pitcher has it, tags out Lukes, and the inning is over. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is 13-4, and the Mariners are down to their final 3 outs. It's their last chance. We already follow each other. I totally forgot about that. According to David Solitero, I hope I said that correctly. Apologies if I mispronounced that. The Blue Jays are now the first team in postseason history with 5+ doubles and 5+ homers in a game. And that was also reposted by Jason Stark as well. David covers poker, and he's a reporter for the World Poker Tour. Shout out to him, man. I would have loved to. Maybe he'd be somebody I'd be trying to get on. That's so cool. Jason Stark just reposted his tweet. That's so sick. Always love it when, the bigger names find the other, like the smaller people who have been covering, who work hard and provide a stat or something, and they just retweet those things. That's such a cool moment to just be able to give that person the spotlight. I've always really enjoyed that. All right, we've been on for 3 hours and 1 minute, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 13-4 Toronto out in Seattle. Oh, boy. We are 34 subscribers away, folks, from 8,100 subs. And again, we do appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. Don't you forget, tomorrow we got our Phillies end of the season press conference with Dave Dombrowski and with Rob Thompson and John Middleton. I believe John Middleton's going to be there. I could double check that. I can double check. There's somebody balancing a boot on their head. 13 runs on 18 hits for Toronto. Ernie Clement is going to be playing on over at third base. Whoever just subbed, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Up to bat is going to be, it was supposed to be Josh Naylor. And it'll be Rivas instead, I believe. And that ball's going to be lined out over to center field for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 9th. That was actually Ford that got on with the single. So scratch that. Leadoff single, and that's how we start off the bottom of the 9th inning. This is Mason Fluharty, who is pitching 3 innings during the postseason, 6 strikeouts in 5 games. Bottom of the 9th, nobody out. And the pitch, that's up high for a ball. Ogie says, sorry I'm late. No, you're good. We had a really quiet chat tonight. It was actually, to be honest with you, it was kind of nice. It was actually kind of nice to be able to have a quiet chat, Thanks, man. I appreciate it. 1 ball, 1 strike. The shoe on the head is a Mariners rally type of thing that just started recently. Thanks for explaining that to me, Brig, over on Twitch. Shout out to you. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch, swing and a miss. And so the count is 1-2. If you're over on Twitch, we are on the YouTube as well. We've been covering the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Eagles, but we also have done the playoffs for baseball. And we did Sunday Night Baseball this year as well. David Rosenblatt, thanks so much for the sub. That's so nice. Thank you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eugenio Suarez is in the box. 1-2 pitch, and that's a foul ball. What's your take on this series? You think that this game is a fluke? Yes and no. I don't really know if fluke is. I don't know if you can have a fluke when it's a dominant game like this. I wouldn't call that a fluke. An outlier, Maybe. Maybe outlier is the better word. Do we really think it's going to happen again? Something like this? I don't know. I do think that Toronto from tonight, I think it'll still end in 5. 1-2 pitch, and that's up high for ball 2. Mariners did 10-3 on Monday, so things do happen. No, that's for sure. Absolutely. 1,000%. Scherzer is pitching tomorrow. I mean, do we really think that Max Scherzer is going to have a dominant performance? Again, he could. He absolutely could. Oh, the Phillies game last week. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, bottom of the 9th. 8 home runs are tied for the most combined in a postseason game. Didn't realize that. 2-2 pitch. That's outside for ball 3. 2017 World Series Game 2 had 8 postseason home runs. And the 2015 NLDS Game 3. Three balls, 2 strikes. That's according to Sarah Langs. 2015 NLDS Game 3 home runs. What was that? Cubs Cardinals. Next pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. And there is out number 1. That's right, because Schwarber homered. Castro homered. Starlin Castro. We were talking about him last night. Chris Bryant. Anthony Rizzo. They homered. Jason Hayward, when he was with the Cardinals, he homered in that game as well. Jorge Soler homered. And then Dexter Fowler and Steven Piscotty. They all homered in that game. That's wild. Jake Arrieta got the win. One ball, no strikes. Mitch Garver is in the box. The pitch. And that is down for a ball. That's also going to get by Alejandro Kirk. And the count is now 2-0. We had fun tonight watching the Blue Jays make so many runs, says Wendy. That's good. I'm happy that you had fun. Yeah, it was a light game. You know, it wasn't dramatic. It was very light and something that I think that I even could have used. 2-0 pitch to Garver. That's a foul ball. Hit back over towards the first base side. The question is, does Vladdy have room? He does. He makes the catch over the shoulder, and there's out number 2. Couldn't really tell from the angle, but the wind just brought that thing back in, and Vladdy had to judge it, and he judged it well. And, well, there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Again, it's 13-4, Toronto. Bottom of the 9th, 2 away. Robles in the box. First pitch to Victor, and there's a line drive played on the bounce by Vladdy. He'll take it to the bag, and the ball game is over. The Blue Jays are able to take Game 3, and they win by a final score of 13-4. It's their first win here in the ALCS, and they now make it a series. It's 2-1. Seattle's still in front, and they'll be back tomorrow night. 13 runs on 18 hits, and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. wins the game ball, as well as Shane Bieber and the rest of the Blue Jays offense. Ring the bell, the Blue Jays win. That's crazy. So Shane Bieber gets the win. George Kirby gets the loss. And the Blue Jays outdueled the Mariners 13-4. All right, so that wraps it up with the game. Just a really quick recap and just some thoughts, final thoughts about this game here. I want to give a shout out to Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber pitched really well for the Toronto Blue Jays. There were a lot of question marks. How would he do? How would his slider look? How deep would he go? And I'll tell you what, after the 2-run home run that he gave up to Julio Rodriguez, I'm sure that a lot of people in the moment were like, oh, that's it. The series is done. That's it. He really settled on it. And for the people that overreact, well, he shut them up. That's for sure. Ended up doing that. And now the Blue Jays, again, I know that there's still a long ways to go, but it is 2-1. And we shall see what ends up happening. But that's a good step for the Toronto Blue Jays. George Springer ends up hitting a home run. You also had that big 2-run shot by Andres Giménez. It just seemed like, and I will get to the other side of things in a second and talk a little bit about George Kirby, but it just really seemed like that the Blue Jays came out there with a sense of urgency, and when George Kirby was leaving fastballs out over the middle of the plate, he made a lot of mistakes, and Toronto was able to capitalize, and they just absolutely murdered that baseball in that at the top of the third inning when they sent 9 men up to the plate. That was a big inning for them, and that's pretty much when the game was over. There was no way that the Mariners were going to be able to bounce back. They did add on another run in that 4th inning and ended up making it 6-2. I think that was sort of when they put it out of reach, but just to respond with 5 runs in that 3rd inning there, the way that they did and the way that they got to that bullpen of Seattle's, I thought that really made a big-time difference for sure. So, but yes. So 13 runs for the Toronto Blue Jays and 4 for the Seattle Mariners. Springer, Vladdy, and Giménez each had 3+ hits in this game. That is really, really awesome. The bottom of the order, the bottom 2 hitters, I should say, Clement and Giménez, 5 for 10 in this game, 3 runs scored, 3 runs batted in, and of course a home run by Andres Giménez. And then the top 3 hitters, you got George Springer, Nathan Lukes, and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. They had 8 combined hits. They scored 6 combined runs. They had 2 solo homers too, and 3 total RBI. Good stuff from them. As far as Seattle goes, okay, George Kirby did not have his stuff. He really lost it in that 3rd inning, and it just seemed like that the fastball was just so flat. This is a guy who has had a very good season, and the one thing that he relies on are his off-speed pitches. And for some reason, it just felt like that he wasn't trusting those pitches tonight. I don't know if there was just fatigue or what it was, but a lot of the fastballs that he threw, and he spammed a lot of fastballs, a lot of them were just left out over the middle of the zone. And you can't do that against a team like Toronto, even when they are struggling, because those types of things are able to, or when teams are able to attack, and they're going to punch you in the mouth. And that's what they did tonight. They punched Seattle back in the mouth. And right now, it's still a series. It's still a series here. So, but yeah. So we got Game 4 tomorrow night. And we'll talk a little bit about the schedule. But overall, just a very good performance by the Toronto Blue Jays. The stats will tell you one thing about the Seattle Mariners' top 3 hitters, but in the guts of the game, they were just getting annihilated, and nobody else stepped up. Rosarina, Raleigh, and Rodriguez did each homer, but it was just not enough. It was too little, too late. And besides the 2-run home run by Julio Rodriguez, the Mariners' bats just went silent. The Toronto Blue Jays bullpen, they went a combined 3 innings. They gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and he didn't really have to use a lot of arms today because of how deep Shane Bieber went. Bieber threw 59 strikes on 88 pitches. And John Schneider, I thought, left him in for a good amount. I did. So, now tomorrow night, of course, the pitching matchup, you have Max Scherzer going up against Luis Castillo. Castillo had a very good performance when he pitched against the Detroit Tigers. And the Mariners are going to not want to play around with this Toronto team. We don't know how Max Scherzer is going to do tomorrow, especially at the age of 41. Does he have a Cy Young performance in him? I don't know. I do know that over his last 2 outings, and the last time he pitched was on September 24th, he's gone 5 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 17 hits combined in those 2 performances and a total of 11 earned runs. But which version are we going to get out of him tomorrow? I don't know. What's the velocity going to be on his fastball? And what are the one thing about him that I've really liked over the years, even when his fastball is dipped, is that he was able to locate his pitches on those corners. Now, can he do that tomorrow? He can, but will he do it? That, I think, is a tall task. Not saying that it's impossible, but we'll just have to wait and see for sure. And then what else? There was one other thing I wanted to talk about too in regards to tonight's game. Something else interesting that I saw. George Springer, 3 for 6 tonight. This guy has been really doing a good job for the Blue Jays as their leadoff hitter. I think it's so funny how some people were, even Blue Jays fans during the season, were sort of debating whether or not he should be the leadoff guy. And for him to just be able to just have some big-time hits again today, I think it really does speak volumes to how much he really does mean to this Blue Jays team, especially when he's going. Look, he batted .309 this year and ended up having 32 homers. Had himself a very good regular season. And sorry, I meant last year, but even still, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. So, 5 homers for Toronto, and we'll see how much is left in the gas tank tomorrow. All right, I love you all. I think that is going to wrap it up for me. And yeah, I will catch you all on the next one. Sayonara, good night, and Lila Tov.